What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's battles. Today we've got a really cool Total War Warhammer 2 Rise of the Tomb Kings 2 versus 2 online quick battle for you. And so you'll see here that I've actually teamed up with my buddy Magic Potato. And so I don't know if you guys have heard, but Tyrion is putting on a 2 versus 2 tournament. A lot of YouTubers and different people are in it. So I'm teamed up with Gojira, and we are actually facing off against Tyrion first round. So I'm out here trying to practice as many 2s as I can. My teammate here is Magic Potato, who's actually my brother-in-law, and he's a good buddy. We play all the time, and so we've got some dwarf build here that I want to show you guys. So over here on the left, you'll see we do have 2 groups of Bugman's Rangers. We got 2 more groups over here, and they're vanguarded up there in the front. And you see Bugman's Rangers, they're really good because they have that my favorite ability ever, the liquid fortification that replenishes their hit points. So the fact that they're drunk gives them health. And besides that, they've got charge defense against large, and they should be pretty good against the high elves. With their they've also got those bronze shields, so they're not too bad in a ranged battle. Here up in the air, you'll see that we do have the Royal Dawi Air Force. While we don't have anything super crazy, we do have the 4 groups of Gyrocopters with brimstone guns. We have tossed a couple of chevrons into them just to give them a little bit more damage and accuracy, and to help their already pretty impressive leadership. Besides that, here in the front line, you'll see that we have a pretty normal array in the front line. We do have some dwarf warriors here on the outside. We've got the grumbling guard. We've got some other longbeards with great weapons. 2 groups of hammers right here in the front. We've also got some iron breakers here in the middle with those satchel charges, and you just love those iron breakers as a dwarf fan. He's got 2 groups of miners with blasting charges, as well as some more longbeards over here with great weapons and dwarf warriors, and the dwarf warriors of Dragonfire Pass taking up these flanks. Over here in the back, you'll see we have just a ton of slayers. So we've got 5 groups of slayers, and we take a look here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one group actually has got a couple of chevrons, so it has some additional stats. You can see that those 3 chevrons actually take it up to 40 melee attack and 36 melee defense, where these standard ones was 43 and 32. So it's not that it's not a huge difference, but it does make some difference in a protracted battle. We've also got the Slayer King himself, Ungrim Iron Fist, and Ungrim has you see here he's got the looks of power, but he does have Deadly Onslaught and Foe Seeker, so he'll be trying to get some good charges in. Here in the middle, we've got my Thane, and I've brought the Thane, and with him I've brought the main thing that's important is this Master Rune of Stromny Redbeard. So he has 5 melee attack and 4 leadership to everyone around him. And the Dwarf Rune Lord here, he gives a bunch of buffs to everyone as well. So all of this army around these guys is pretty well buffed up and getting some extra buffs to their attack and defense, and just generally everything is buffed at this point. So that's the big thing I'm trying to learn to do, is when you play 2s, try to keep your armies together and present a united front against your opponent. Over here for the high elves, you see up here in the air, right off the bat, he does have a Sun Dragon. So he's got Sun Dragon's Breath, he's got the Prince up there, he does have Deadly Onslaught, and he'll be able to do some pretty good damage on the top of that dragon with the Prince. Besides that, he's got a bunch of archers here with light armor, as well as 2 groups of Valerian Reavers here. Oh wait, that's 1 group of Silver Helms and 1 group of Valerian Reavers. So I felt like they were kind of trying to do the same thing, but they just didn't put their armies quite together as much at the front. Over here on the right flank, you'll see in the tree, so we've got some more groups of Silver Helms. We've got some more Valerian Reavers here in the back. Some Silver Helms with shields right there in the middle, and then in the back here we've got some more Silver Helms with shields. So that's just a ton of cavalry, and I think that one of them was kind of the cavalry, and you see over there on the other flank, there's just Silver Helms everywhere. There's Silver Helms on all of the flanks. If we had been spread out, they would have definitely been trying to divide us and wrap around. Here for their main line, you'll see they've also got some Lotharian Sea Guard beside those regular archers, or the light armored archers over on the left. So 4 groups of Lotharian Sea Guard, and he does have those white lions of trace. And a couple of groups of Swordmasters of Hoth, I believe, as well. Maybe just the 1 group of Swordmasters of Hoth. Swordmasters. Oh no, there's a second group. There they are. They're hiding. So those guys will be a challenge. Those are really strong infantry. The White Lions, on the other hand, I always have trouble making them work well. Here you see riding on that Elven steed with that flaming sword there. He does have Let's see, does he have it? No, maybe not. So I thought maybe he had Sunfang, but it doesn't look like it. So Tyrion, you see there, he's got 125 armor up on the horse. He's got 90 charge bonus. He is just a beast. So if you can keep him moving, he'll do a ton of damage. All right, so you see the dwarven armies here, just arrayed right against them, all nice and together. And so we'll just go ahead and start this up and watch those pointy-eared bastards try to come at us. All right, so you see right off the bat, we're kind of just going to consolidate. We realize that they're pretty spread out, and so if we can, we'll go ahead and just try to engage one player. Or first on the left before you know, trying to get double damage on him before these guys can get over here in time. At the same point, we are a little bit close up here with the Bugman's Rangers, and so our first engagement is actually going to be with them. I'll just take a few shots over here. I think I was going to try to shoot at those Sword Masters of Oath, but I realized that these Lothar and Seaguard here are going to start shooting at me right away. So I'm just going to try to pop off a shot or two and see if we can do some damage up front here to these White Lions. You see there that those Lothar and Seaguard do start taking some shots, and you'll see a couple of these Bugman's Rangers will go down here, which is, I mean, you see before they start getting out of the way, get those shields up, boys. So the arrows are firing in, and they'll start doing some good damage. I mean, even with those shields, Bugman's Rangers are not going to be immune to arrow fire. At the same time, it's given the chance, the rest of our army a chance to kind of position here, and we're kind of starting to, I guess, get the fight started up on this hill at this point. Over here on the left, you do see that since I've got these air units, I mean, I can see that they're the silver helms and different stuff over here in the trees. So I'm going to get over there, and I'm going to start taking some shots with those brimstone guns. He's definitely going to get his shots in as well. He's taking a bunch of shots here at these hammers. So you see he's getting in there. Look at those arrows just coming in and just wrecking that group of hammers. I mean, it's already down almost a quarter of its health. Over here on the flank, you see these silver Illyrian Reavers are actually going to get caught by these Slayers, it looks like, and those Slayers will cut those Illyrian Reavers to pieces. That will not even be a challenge. Same time, the Warriors of Dragonfast are over here. Dragonfire Pass are over there fighting those Illyrian Reavers. And the Bugman's Rangers are going to, I think, try to get some shots off into the back of these Illyrian Reavers. Over here on the left, you'll see that our Gyrocopters with brimstone guns are taking some good shots over here at the Silver Helms, who have taken a good amount of damage. And we've also got some Slayers in here fighting them as well. So there's just a big cavalry battle going on. You see those archers with light armor just firing in here at those Bugman's Rangers who are running away with their shields above their heads again. And at the same time, these Warriors of Dragonfire Pass have got some help with a group of Dwarf Warriors, and now they're going to start taking down those Silver Helms. Over here on the left flank, you'll see that the Gyrocopters with brimstone guns are just taking out units after units of Illyrian Reavers. So whatever they're shooting at is pretty much going to die. I mean, with 4 groups of Gyrocopters with brimstone guns, if it's a large target, it's going to get knocked down, one with every shot. At the same time, they do not want to be mixed up with those Slayers. Those Slayers will do major damage. Oh man, look at those huge damage coming in from these miners with blasting charges. But even though they do have armor, I mean, over time those blasting charges will do some good damage against those White Lions. I mean, for the cost that these miners do, besides that, they have armor and piercing. So once they run out of those blasting charges, they'll get in there and they'll do some good work as well. You can see this group of miners with blasting charges tossing those charges right onto those Lothar and Seaguard, and it's doing some good work. Just a few more left. They're going to toss them in there, and these dwarves are going to come in here and they're going to battle for their lives. I mean, there's not a lot of support up there on the hillside. A lot of stuff is going on. Look at this. We've got this Prince who's down here. He's got everything popped. We've got Ungrim Iron Fist facing up against him. You see blasting charges coming in there from the Ironbreakers, and Bugman's Rangers are also starting to take just tons of shots. And look at that, the Prince was taken down. I don't know if you guys saw, he was about half health when I zoomed in over there. That Prince got blasted. I mean, with Deadly Onslaught popped, I mean, plus the fact that he has, you know, he's got tons of armor piercing. Ungrim plus all of those units shooting in there were able to just break that Prince and shatter him right off the field. So at this point, now you see the Bugman's Rangers are starting to target these archers with light armor, and the archers are starting to blast these hammers to bits. Up here on the top, you'll see that we've actually taken out a good number of these Illyrian Reavers using the Gyrocopters, and now they're going to come in here and try to assist over here on the flank, because most of these Dwarven units, you can see bodies of dwarves everywhere. I mean, these Swordmasters of Hoth have just been crushing Longbeards, and all of this withering archer fire is starting to take its toll. Over here, there's still a little pocket of resistance with the Grumbling Guard as well as some Slayers, and those White Lions of Trace will give chase as these units realize that they're off on their own and they need to get back with their buddies. They're going to charge here into the back. I think they make it into these Swordmasters, and there's some Dwarf Warriors joining, and everyone is just going to try to get these units that are out of position. At the same time, over here on the flank, you'll see all of those cavalry units charging here. They're charging right in, and these Bugman's Rangers, these Longbeards, they're all surrounded. Let's see if we can get in there, get you guys some close-ups, and there is just a ton of cavalry fighting dwarves. At the same time, the dwarves are such a stalwart folk. You see here the Master Rune of Oath and Steel giving everybody armor, and they're actually going to start turning this tide. These dwarf warriors, I mean, they can fight. These Illyrian Reavers and Silverhelms, they'll start getting knocked off the field pretty quickly, as will any unit that tries to engage these two groups of Bugman's Rangers over here. Here in the back, you'll actually see we've got Ungrim Iron Fist. He's got everything popped. He's got Deadly Onslaught pop, and he is breaking off units of archers. So he by himself, single-handedly in the back, just cutting units to pieces. Probably not the best use for him, but at the same time, he's doing what he needs to do to get things done. Here in the main fight, you'll see that the Rune Lord is in here. Now he's cycling over to the Master Rune of Negation, and these Slayers are coming in to catch up and try to catch Tyrion in this just melee, this huge melee fight going on here. You see the dwarf on it. I mean, you can see them just fighting there. That Rune Lord fighting against Tyrion. Everyone just charging in. There's just a ton of dwarves left, and the balance of power is starting to tip a little bit more in our favor, just because so many of these Illyrian Reavers and Silverhelms have finally been routed off the field. Besides the fact that that prince was lost, now they're starting to have these Bugman's Rangers are starting to finish off all the last groups of these archers that Ungrim. You can see just dead bodies of archers everywhere across the field. There's more Silverhelms retreating. And there's the final stand up here of High Elves, and up over the top of those just that Dawi Air Force, just still with ammo, still taking shots, and they're gonna start. Look at that! They're just raining, just fire right into those Swordmasters, and those Swordmasters lose a couple models each round of fire. At the same time, right here in the middle, you see Tyrion is pretty much surrounded. Let's see if we can get rid of those. Tyrion is completely surrounded there. He is probably taking the Rune of Wrath and Rune. Yep, Master Rune there. It's on top of him. He's look at those dwarves milling around him, and he's not long for this earth. Oh man, let's see if we can get it in there. Oh man, all you can see is the dwarves just trampling over his body. You can see those Swordmasters of Health coming in to avenge him. But at this point, the dwarves are pretty much going to take it off the field. I mean, there is not a lot of hope left. These Swordmasters of Hoth, you see their leadership is starting to waver. Although they're presenting a good front line here, those angry dwarves are coming in. You can see them, just the Warriors Dragonfire Pass, all those Slayers. You can see the Rune Lord there breaking through the line of Swordmasters. The Dawi Air Force there flying in the skies in the back with Bugmans, and the Slayer Lord over there all on his own. Look at this. He is just by himself, just covered in blood. That was just a blast. So overall, it was a fun battle. Let's take a look at that post-game wrap-up. First, you can see here the way that we did it. I mean, Magic Potato, he had mainly that frontline army with a lot of these big damage dealers. It really allowed him to micro and get those miners with blasting charges thrown right where he wanted them. The Longbeards, or the Ironbreakers, I think that I may have missed it, but they had some great tosses with those satchel charges. You see here 62 and 60 on these two groups of Slayers, and the Grumbling Guard was fighting over there. I mean, they were fighting for the longest time on one flank. This Rune Lord there in the middle, just giving huge amounts of buff, casting that Master Rune of Wrath and Rune, and it was just, I mean, this was such a strong front line. It was able to hold for so long. Here on our squad, you see here that we actually got these Bugman's Rangers. They got ranked up. I think they started with 3, so they got ranked up to silver. 83, 69. I mean, they were taking out just left and right. They were fighting Reavers. They were fighting mobile units, and these Gyrocopters up top, they were up there just causing havoc. So Ungrim was able to get some good shots off on the Prince. I mean, just all of the Slayers got huge numbers of kills. It was just a good teamwork, and it was just a solid door in front. For the High Elves, you can see that they did have these silver helms with shields, and they were kind of going for the same thing. You see they both brought archers, and then this guy brought a big mobile cavalry force, and this guy brought all the frontline units and a little bit of cavalry to kind of assist. So I think the big issue was that they didn't line up their troops together in the same spot, and if they had, we probably would have been having a different plan. At the same time, against the Dwarfs, a lot of these Illyrian Reavers and Silver Helms, they're not quite enough to do the biggest damage against a lot of the armored Dwarf backlines. If you don't bring any cannons or anything like that, I mean, you saw these brimstone guns were just blasting them left and right. At the same time, again, I don't always know what the Dwarves will bring. There's tons of different options, and had we had some cannons or something like that, we would have been overrun very quickly. Here you see those sword masters; those were big, champions. The White Lions actually got a good number of kills as well, so they were against these lightly armored slayers and stuff like that, and these dwarf warriors. These White Lions are able to chop through them with that armor piercing they've got. So you see the mobile units didn't do quite as well. I think if the light archers had been protected by this huge line, I mean, even the Lothern Sea Guard. I mean, if you have archers next to Lothern Sea Guard, the archers can be on skirmish mode, so they'll back up. The Lothern will engage and protect them, and the archers can keep firing. So, that definitely would have helped them out if they would have been together. But it was a great build, lots of fun, and good practice for the upcoming 2 vs 2 battle with me and Gojira. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more great online content. This is Black Iron, and this has been another one of Black Iron's battles.